It's 2024. Drumroll, please. For normal people around the world, New Year's is a time to celebrate life and happiness for the year ahead. For Hamas, well, they celebrate by shooting a massive barrage of rockets at innocent Israeli civilians. But then again, I did say normal people celebrate New Year's with a toast to life and happiness, and well, Hamas cannot be considered anywhere close to that category. Breaking news from the defense establishment, Israel is now securing their border with Jordan over fears that an attack from Hezbollah could come from that direction. In the Gaza Strip, the IDF is deploying a large number of K-9 fighters to help the soldiers locate and fight Hamas scumbags who are hiding in tunnels, under hospitals, and schools. Also, we have some positive stories here from Israel at the end of today's show, so stick around for that. I'm Josiah, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Happy New Year's, everybody. It's now 2024. It seems strange just to even think about that. We're already out of 2023. In a way, it seems like it's been a long year, and in another way, it seems like the year flew by very, very quickly. Can't believe 2024 is upon us today. But what a good day to record a show. What a good day to come to you with the news from Israel. Guys, here at the Israel Guys and our volunteer organization, Hayuvel, has been a massive year in 2023. 2024, we already have a lot of exciting things planned for the year coming up ahead. So now would be a great time to go and subscribe to the Israel Guys. Hit that like button, hit that notification button so you never miss an episode of the Israel Guys. Also connect to our social media channels there. That being said, I wanted to run over a few things that we were able to accomplish here at the Israel Guys and our volunteer organization, Hayuvel, here just in this last year of 2023. Through our volunteer organization this year, we brought in over 234 volunteers from over 9 different countries around the world. We planted over 21,000 trees and vines in Judea and Samaria, and we helped 50 small Jewish farmers in the region. That's in the region of Judea and Samaria, who are settling the beautiful land of Israel. On our Israel Guys platforms, our advocacy channels, which we bring you the news from Israel every single week and what's actually happening here, the true story from Israel. We got nearly 10 million views on our platform, so that's a great growth for us from last year. We grew our YouTube channel here, this YouTube channel, from 50,000 subscribers to over 130, just over 136 right now, and you can make it even more by clicking subscribe. We also produced throughout just on our channels and all our different content, we produced over 360 videos about the truth about what's happening in Israel. And thank you to all of you guys for subscribing and for watching and keeping up to date with what's actually happening, supporting the Israel Guys, supporting our work here in Israel. And that's not even to mention with the war and everything, our Operation Itai campaign, which is still going strong. We've raised over $3.4 million, I believe, bringing emergency supplies to those who need it here in the biblical heartland of Israel, Judea, and Samaria. So a lot of big things happen in 2023, and we're excited for the year ahead, hoping to bring much more, and we have some exciting things planned. Stay tuned for those coming up this year to a YouTube channel near you. No, I'm just kidding. But go ahead and subscribe to the Israel Guys so you never miss that content that's going to be coming towards you guys. Speaking of New Year's plans, so we have a lot of things planned for 2023. The question is, what does Hamas have planned for 2024? Excuse me. So as I was toasting the New Year last night, I guess this morning now, a couple of friends, we were toasting the New Year as the clock struck midnight. Not even 20 seconds after the clock struck midnight, my phone literally blew up with notifications of rockets being shot from Gaza into the Israeli center, the population center just south of Tel Aviv there. Massive amount of notifications. And so I was looking at these notifications, and then we thought, wait, if we walk outside, we should be able to see these rockets. We walked outside and saw the Iron Dome just, boom, taking out these rockets, being shot up minute not even a minute after the clock struck midnight into 2024. Here's a video I took of the rockets being shot down. Look at all the rockets blowing up. Present for the new year. Wow. Iron Dome's hard at work. This clearly illustrates Hamas's purposes for 2024. Clearly shows their New Year's plans are, well, unfortunately, the same plans they had in 2023 and the same plans they've had for the last however many years of their existence going back to their founding. Their plans are destroy the Jewish people. Destroy the Jewish people living in the land of Israel. That's the first part. And then we're going to go around the world and destroy all the other Jews that are living around the world and coming for the Christians after that. Guys, Hamas is a dangerous, terrorist, ISIS-like, Nazi-like organization that is committed to destroying the Jewish people. And they illustrated this morning, I guess you could say, 24 minutes after midnight, that their intentions are very clear. They are not stopping in attacking Israel. 27 rockets were fired in this barrage, which is a lot. And if you think about it, Israel's Iron Dome systems, that's a lot for them to try to intercept, and the radar is making sure which ones are going to the population centers. If it looks like it's going to hit a city, then the Iron Dome's going to take it out. If it looked like it's heading towards an open field, then they're not going to take it out. Very complicated stuff, and the potential to overwhelm the Iron Dome system, shooting that many at a time, and Hamas is hoping that one or two will go through and actually land in people's houses, in the towns, and kill Israeli civilians. Hamas took responsibility for this attack just after midnight, saying, quote, "We fired a barrage of rockets at Tel Aviv in response to the Zionist massacre." Yeah, so Hamas is saying it's in response to the Zionist massacres, which have not been any Zionist massacres. I don't know. Newsflash, Hamas. Not sure exactly. Obviously, touting this propaganda slogan, this propaganda campaign that they've been running ever since the war started, and even beforehand, that Israel is the one committing massacre on innocent Palestinian civilians. Sorry, but no one actually believes that Israel is committing massacres. Unfortunately, I can't even say that anymore, because there are people that do actually believe that Israel is massacring innocent Palestinian civilians and just killing, committing a genocide. The genocide is the trigger word everybody likes to use. But unfortunately, Hamas, you started this war. You broke the ceasefire that was in place on October 7th, firing rockets into Israeli population centers. You broke that ceasefire while at the same time massacring Jewish civilians, massacring 1,200 Israelis in the course of just 24 hours. So you have no reason to claim that Hamas is the one or that Israel is the one massacring Palestinians in this case. Israel is experiencing an unprecedented nightmare. Thousands of Israelis, including men, women, and children, are facing unimaginable terror. The trauma the children are experiencing during this time is especially severe. Many have experienced violence firsthand, lost loved ones, and are living through the constant fear and uncertainty for their family's safety. These experiences have left deep emotional scars that will continue to haunt them for the rest of their lives unless we help them. Shiloh Israel Children's Fund provides victimized, terror-stricken children with the life-saving therapies they urgently need to heal from their trauma. The Shiloh Israel Children's Fund partners with mental health professionals to provide the immediate interventions and future therapies that these children need so desperately. The Shiloh Israel Children's Fund has helped thousands of Israeli kids to contend with the trauma of terror and find healing and eventually move forward to live happy, healthy, and productive lives. Because of the current war, the Shiloh Israel Children's Fund does not have the resources to help all the children that need treatment. Your donation can make a profound difference in the lives of these precious children. It can provide them with the opportunity to receive the therapy they need to rebuild their emotional well-being and find hope for a brighter future. Go to shilohisrael.org or click the link down in the description below to donate to help these children today. Breaking news for today, the defense establishment in Israel is gearing up or preparing for a potential threat of an attack from Jordan, the neighbor Israel's neighbor to the east, the country of Jordan, that they've been in a peace agreement with for quite a number of years. The defense establishment is now preparing and securing the border for potential attack. And it's not exactly what you think. They're not afraid of the country of Jordan attacking them, which that even though there's a peace agreement and they've been, semi-friendly countries, there's always that possibility in my mind because obviously they are Muslims and want to destroy Israel eventually. But the IDF is more concerned with Hezbollah attacks through being smuggled, or Hezbollah fighters and weapons being smuggled through Jordan and attacking through the border into Israeli towns along the border. Israel Hayom reported today, quote, the IDF has been fundamentally altering its operational deployment on the border with Jordan following a spike in arms smuggling from the Kingdom of Jordan, and fears Iran-sponsored terror attacks could occur along the border in 2024. So terror attacks and even potential attacks like Hamas, like large-scale attacks like the ones committed on October 7th, could happen along the border with Jordan as well. Military source told Israel Hayom that the baseline scenario for which Central Command is preparing is attempts by Hezbollah or other pro-Iranian militias to infiltrate from the Jordanian border into one of the communities near the border. The eastern border with Jordan stretches over 109 miles long. It's the longest border with Israel. Israel has with any of its neighbors, and thankfully that happens to be Jordan, which is their most friendly neighbor. In the past 2 years, there has been a dramatic increase in arms smuggling from Jordan to the West Bank, and the IDF estimates that Iran is behind the shipments. This involves more than 1,000 different kinds of weapons interdicted along the border. The IDF knows that only some of the smuggling attempts are foiled. This partially explains the rise in terror attacks and the availability of weapons in Judea and Samaria over the past 2 years. So yeah, the IDF knows they're catching a ton of this smuggling, and it's been ramping up for the last 2 years from Jordan into Israel, which a huge section of that is Jordan into Judea and Samaria, what they would call the West Bank here, prompting more terror attacks and more availability of weapons. And they catch a lot of the smuggling attempts, but the IDF knows that could be, it could be a small portion, it could be a large portion. They have no idea. They know that there's many more attempts that actually get through the border that they have not caught, and we're not able to intercept those smuggling attacks. So this is a big concern for Israel, who is fighting a large war in Gaza with Hamas. Not only that, but they have to secure their border with Egypt down south, which has been mostly quiet throughout the war. They have to protect their border on the north side with Hezbollah, which has been not in the least bit quiet. There's basically a small-scale war raging up there with Hezbollah attacking Israel and Israel striking back and attacking military targets inside of Lebanon there. And then they also have Syria to the northeast there. That has also been a lot of firing back and forth. Syria attacking towns up north with rockets and different things like that. So now, not only that, they have all that. Now they're basically having to secure this other border along the Jordan, their longest border, and hoping and praying that an attack will not come from there. Again, they're not concerned necessarily with the Jordanian military attacking, although there have been instances of the past of rogue Jordanian soldiers attacking civilians on the border, different things like that. And that's always a possibility and actually a good probability that something like that could happen. But for now, the relationship between Israel and Jordan is pretty good, and they're not concerned with a direct attack from the country of Jordan. But Jordan, again, is not controlling these their border with Israel, not controlling these attempts by Iranian-backed militias to smuggle weapons, to smuggle arms, to smuggle terrorists into Israel and attack Israeli towns. And Jordan could be doing a much better job with that. They do work in conjunction with the IDF to try to stop some of these attacks, but obviously there's a lot that slips through, and they are not fully stopping these smuggling operations that are happening across the border. And guys, just to remind you that Hezbollah is much more advanced and has greater military capability than Hamas does. Main reason for that is they have direct access to get weapons from Iran and funds from Iran. Hamas has been largely armed and funded by Iran. But Hezbollah much more so, because there's much more of a direct, they can smuggle weapons straight into Lebanon. It's much easier to get weapons into these countries that are closer to Iran and these Muslim-connected countries than it is to the Gaza, which is mostly isolated besides their border with Egypt down in the south. So that's kind of what's happening on the Jordanian border. That's another thing to pray about and to keep Israel in your prayers, that they would be protected from an attack coming from Jordan. And again, they're also being threatened by Yemen, the Houthi rebels in Yemen, who are disrupting a large amount of trade in the Red Sea. And there's talk about maybe other countries getting involved to try to stop these disruptions in the shipping and the attacks from Yemen, who are also threatening the state of Israel and shooting rockets towards Israel's southern rockets. I guess you could say missiles, because they got to come a long way. They're missiles shooting into Israel's southern towns. All right, in Gaza, I just want to talk about this briefly because I thought this is fantastic and just amazing way that Israel is trying to minimize casualties from their soldiers. There've been a large number of casualties going in. People, the soldiers, IDF soldiers, heroes who are sacrificing their lives to take out this evil of Hamas. These people who are threatening their families and their children. There's been a large number of casualties, and Israel is now deploying a large number of canine fighters, of dogs, the dog units, to go in and help the fighters in the Gaza Strip. Israel's Oketz unit, the military's canine special forces, is using a lot of dogs to help locate the Hamas fighters who are hiding in these tunnels and under these houses and all these things, also locating explosives and things like that. The dogs are mapping out buildings, discovering weapons, and locating threats. And if you check out this video, it's a pretty amazing way, just seeing how all these dogs are being used in fighting inside the Gaza Strip. They're sending them inside the houses. Some of them sending inside the houses before the soldiers enter, make sure places they can't see before they get in. They have to go in blind because they're not able to identify if there's threats inside. You see the guys with the dogs on the leash. They're looking for explosives. Heading up a stairway where they can't see around, and they send the dog up first and to see if there's threats there. The dog will alert them, and they'll know. There's also the dogs that are able to go through holes that are too small for humans to go through there. So it's pretty amazing to see these dogs in actions. These dogs are heroes themselves that are saving Israeli lives, saving lives of innocent civilians by taking out these Hamas fighters inside of Gaza.
Kadima! Yofi, Kadima! Kadima! Yofi, Kadima! Elai, bye! Yofi, taba, bye! Elai! Elai, bye, taba! Elai!
All right, to end out today's show, we actually have a few positive stories that I thought I wanted to share with you guys. There's so much negativity and hardship coming out of the land of Israel right now, but there are good things happening in Israel. The first of which was the first Israeli baby of 2024. A few minutes after midnight, 12:16 a.m., the first Israeli baby of 2024 was born at Wolfson Hospital to 29-year-old Coral Srugo and her husband Daniel, residents of Holon. Wouldn't that be amazing to be the first baby in your country to be born in that year? That would be kind of, I don't know, you should get like a certificate from the government, I think, or something. I don't know. But yeah, you can see their picture here. Beautiful family, and we congratulate them on their baby that was born just minutes after midnight in the year of 2024, the new year. Also, I want to show you this clip of the IDF celebrating Havdalah, which actually marks the end of the Sabbath here in Israel. They do a little ceremony marking the end of the Sabbath in Israel, and these soldiers are singing the Havdalah service. Amazing to see the spirit of the IDF as they are in the midst of brutal fighting, a lot of hard fighting in the Gaza Strip. They're keeping their spirit strong, and they're celebrating. And guys, this is really the strength of the IDF is their faith in God and their belief and their practice. And they're down in the middle of this war, in the middle of the Gaza Strip, but yet they're singing and they're celebrating as they close out the Sabbath and head into the week ahead, making that distinction, that mark that now the day of the Sabbath is ending and the new week is starting ahead. You can see, and they're blessing God, singing these blessings. It's absolutely beautiful. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today, January 1st, and Happy New Year to all of you guys. Make sure to check out the Shiloh Israel Children's Fund and consider making a donation there. Don't forget to subscribe, get that conversation going down in the comments below. We love interacting with you there. And as always, tune out the fake news and tune into what is actually happening here in the land of Israel. We'll be back every day, Monday through Friday, with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.